Gaffer, Christmas music on next door, Christmas meal for everybody. We've just sensed the togetherness in there. Yes, it's Christmas, but witnessing everyone together at the same time.
Yeah, it's something we do. The lads have it tough over Christmas, with days off and things, It's still the best job in the world, and I'm sure everyone else would want to do it, but they don't get much time with their families, and so, a couple of weeks before Christmas we do it, and we've done it everywhere we've been, a Christmas meal together, and a bit of a sing-song at the end, and I don't want to take credit, I'll lead it, but Darren, Ibrahim and David Waits, they're them two in there, and obviously Darren's the great cheerleader, and Dave Waits, good organiser in the background there. So we've all had Christmas lunch today. Chefs have put on a great meal, and as you've seen, the boys really bought into singing the last waltz at the end. I think they know what it means to be Gillingham, and I'm sure one or two fans will be very pleased that they're buying in.
You might not take credit for what they were singing, but you can take credit to this song. I don't think the fans will hear it in the background, but this is one of yours.
I think this is one of my songs, yeah. I think they've put it on, now I'm doing the press, they've blasted it out in the background, so still for sale if you want to go and buy it, the Cold Blooded Hearts album, but no, it's all about the togetherness, like I say, it's, I'm a big believer in the team spirit, and one in, all in, we're not, there's a lot of lads in there that aren't in the first team. There's only 11 spaces, and there's probably 20 lads in there, or maybe 25 with some of the young boys who are just buying in, getting behind everything that we're trying to do here. And like I say, when I came in, I said I'd change the culture. I want to change to my culture. Not that it was a bad one, but I just wanted my culture, and I think that's halfway to getting there. We've got plenty of work to do with these boys. We've done development days. We have a great atmosphere around the place now, and I'm really, really proud of that. Really proud of that, And whatever anyone says about sometimes the results or the Saturdays or whatever it is, believe me, these boys are together and they're bought in, and they love playing for Gillingham.
Let's talk about Barrow. Of course, they're the visitors on Saturday. They've had a change in management over the last 24 hours. Does that sense of unpredictability in the event of what they might do, does that put a spanner in your works?
Yeah. I wouldn't say spanner, it just changes the pitches. I'm glad they did it yesterday and not today, because it gave us a chance to delete most of the presentation that we put together saying this is what they've been doing and this is how the manager likes to play. But obviously, that happens, it's football management, and I wish Wingy all the best, in his next venture, but Neil McDonald taking over, he's been very experienced. So, we start guessing what's coming, but it's all about us. I've told the boys today, it's all about what we do now. And it's one of the few games in the season where I won't be able to analyse too much and won't be able to see patterns of play, because it's going to be new, So we want to make sure we impose ourselves. We're at home. The fans have been super on the road. They really have. They've got behind us. But back here, I want to win. I want to win a game, because Barnet and Crawley. Okay, there were 2 draws and 2 decent performances, but I want to start winning the home games, and I've asked the boys to put on that display on Saturday for the fans, for themselves, and try and get the points.
Just finally from me, you've written this in your programme notes for Saturday's edition. We believe Richard Dobson will be in the dugout for the 700th time as an assistant manager.
Yeah.
That's quite an incredible feat, and I know you respect him incredibly highly. Just talk to us about Dobbo, and it's a milestone certainly worth celebrating.
Yeah, absolutely. Anyone who does 100 games in the dugout has done well, never mind 700, So for him to be alongside me for about 6:30, 6:40, I think I'm on. So he had a season, and sort of a season and a bit before. I was captain actually at Wickham, and Dobbo was promoted to assistant manager for Gary Waddock, and that season, it was a tough season in League One, but it was great to see him in action. And then when I got the job, there was no question about keeping him. I saw definitely glimpses of what he was and what he could become, and I think over the years he's become a fantastic number 2. Because being a number 2 is so different to being a number 1. Really is, there should be courses in number 2, because he could run it, because you know, the not being in the limelight is one, but picking up the pieces, you know, and also he'll watch me as much as he watches the opposition, and he'll watch me on the touchline at times, and he'll know what I need. You know, it's probably the closest thing to me other than my wife. You know, so he properly could read me, know what I'm thinking, and he also knows probably when to push, when to hold back. And the one thing that Dobbo has never ever done ever is I told you so, or we should have done that. He just gets on with the decision we make as a group, and I'll make the final decision because that's my job. But he always goes, right, yeah, believe in that 100%, and we'll go for it. And it doesn't always go right, you know. Believe me, I've had some real bad games, and not once has he ever turned around and said, "Oh, do this, do that." Trust is a word in football that honestly it's used a lot, but whether it's done a lot, I'm not sure. It's definitely done by Richard Dobson. I can trust him with everything I've got, and I think together we have forged this culture, this way of doing things, and it's great to see people come in and joining it and enjoying it. But yeah, congratulations, Dobbo, 700, some achievement. I'm sure there's plenty more to come. I hope there's plenty more to come, especially at Gillingham. But yeah, brilliant for somebody like Dobbo to do 700 in the dugout.
Lovely. Gareth, thanks ever so much. Matt, all yours.
Can just go back to the preparation from Barrow. Is it a case of ripping everything up and just concentrating on yourself then more on a day like this?
Yeah, I think it's the game where we'll focus on us a bit more than usual. I think that I do a percentage of my work on the opposition because I think it's the right thing to do, and many teams do. They'll see pockets, they'll see weaknesses, they'll see strengths. We still know what their strengths are, and hopefully we can tell the boys about individual weaknesses, but we don't know the team yet. We don't know what is he going to change, is he going to go with the same. Very difficult to read. So yeah, about what we can do and how we impose ourselves. I've got some good players in this squad, some really good players, and I believe that if they all come together and they all switch it on at the right time, we can beat anyone in this league. And I don't want to disrespect any team because anyone can beat anyone in this league, but I'm really happy with what I've got. And but Barrow, they've had some good results earlier in the season. They really have, turned up some big teams, so we have to be very wary of them. But let's impose ourselves on them. Let's see what we can do on Saturday. I'm asking the boys, show me how far we've come. And yeah, that's what we'll be doing.
5 games unbeaten, and 4 of them draws the last 4.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Do you look at that as a coach, as a manager, sort of glass half full or half empty?
Yeah, listen, points-wise, you go 6 points is 2 wins and 2 losses, and people will say that's better than 4 draws, and it actually isn't, because there's some substance to 4 draws. You're not getting beat. You're really hard to beat. It's 2 points less. I understand that, but I'd rather probably sacrifice the points and have the spirit and the togetherness and the unbeaten run than anything. But coming to the end of the season, you probably go, I'll take a win because we need it to get in there. But at this stage of the season, we're building momentum again. Draws are a killer, they are, and especially home draws. The Shrewsbury and the Colchester point, I think, are great points, especially where we were in the game at Shrewsbury. Just one of those home wins, Dacky's goal that was onside, if that could have been allowed, we may have been sitting here and totally different, but you can look back and wish for that. But all it is now, it's about going forward. It's looking at Barrow and going, right, they're coming to town. They'll have a long journey down here, and we want to be ready for them and ready to pounce and impose ourselves on them, So got a few back from injury, which is great, There'll be 1 or 2 coming into the squad, and looking forward to seeing what we can do.
Of course, I was going to ask about that. I think the guys were saying on the Colchester game, you might have had more players in the stand with the Gills fans and actually on your bench.
Yeah.
That's clearing now, is it?
Yeah, and you know what, just to go back on that, it was brilliant to see the players go with the fans. Not just because it's with the fans, but the confidence that they've got to know that they give everything. So when they do go and sit with the fans can go, all right, we might not have won that game, but you gave everything. That's all fans want to see. That's all I want to see. So to be able to do that is brilliant. Some clubs you can't do that, The Gills fans are great people. They really get behind the boys. They really know what they are trying to do. But one or two of those are not going to be in the stand on Saturday. They're going to be on the bench and in the team. And I'm hoping that we can get our strongest squad back for this Christmas period, because it's a testing time over Christmas. We have this one. We go to Fleetwood next Saturday, and then wow. The 4 games in 11 days is a real test, and I'm going to need everybody, and it's looking like everybody will be just about back. Connor Masterson was on the grass there, Ewan Williams trained today. This is good for us, to get these players back. So, one or two will still be missing, but Johnny Smith was out there. It's really good. It's exciting that we're getting these players back now.
Can you give us the names of the 2 that are coming back?
No, I won't do. Yeah, I'm going to let everyone keep guessing. That's what good managers do.
Keep something up your sleeve.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
You mentioned Johnny Smith. You're saying he's getting closer now. I mean, obviously he's a big side.
Yeah, he's trained this week. Yeah. So Johnny Smith's trained this week. So he's in contention. Ewan Williams, Connor Masterson. All these players now are coming into my thoughts, and obviously you likes of Josh Andrews and Andy Smith and that back out there is fantastic to have.
And obviously going to Christmas, you want as many fit bodies as possible. I know you've got a big squad and you've coped so far, but you don't want to just be coping, do you?
No, we don't want to cope. We want to excel, and like I say, expectations big for me, and I think the fans understand that. They know what we're trying to do here. Give us a bit of time, because all of us, and I say all of us, I'm saying Brad and Shannon and me and Joe, Comper and the recruitment team, and that we've had a bit of a reset and go, right, let's build this place over 2 years. I can't wait, honestly. In 2 years' time, I want to show everyone how we are a different outfit, in a different club. But it does take time. But moments like this afternoon with all the boys together, they're steps forward, and the staff. I can't say enough about the staff here either. The office staff, the facility guys, the people who look after us. They're just exceptional as well. So lovely place to be working at the moment. I just want to try and get the result on Saturday.
Just a word about culture. Sam Gale was talking about how you and Richard Dobson, the youth players, their names.
Yeah.
He said it makes a massive difference. You can't believe what a difference that makes to youth players when they feel included.
Yeah, of course. I mean,
how important is that?
Yeah, Louis Dale was on the bench last week. Logan Dobbs, first year pro, on the bench last week. Cruz has made his first team debut this year away at Oldham. So. Stan, the young boy Stan Sargent, he's close to my thoughts as well. But not just that, young little Boothie, the winger, unbelievable in the youth cup, and I just wanted to reward him, So, but I'm still getting used to the names. But there's even a boy with a long throw in there as well, so I've got my eye on him. But now there's a real good connection between Joe Dunn, who's the 18s coach, Brian. Pato, we're all sort of close. We all talk and we're all in that. So Wednesday, they're in the Youth Cup next round. I'm there. I want to be there. Wednesday's historically our day off, but there's no way I'm going to miss that. I want the boys to know I'm coming and I want to see them. So Gailey should be a shining example to some of those young boys about exactly what you can achieve, because he's been brilliant this season, and hopefully he's a real good sort of shining light for that academy. Bradley Dack all those years ago, but obviously he's had a different journey. But they'll definitely get their chance if they're good enough. And age doesn't mean anything to me. It's if you're good enough, and if they are, they'll be in the team.
I think Sam put it into context by saying last Christmas he thought he was on his way out of the club, not through any malice from anybody, but just that couldn't see a pathway.
No, and I think Andy Hessenthal has to take some credit here, because I think Andy was one who wanted to keep hold of him, and Andy's managed, and when you manage, I think you look at the long game as much as the short game, and I think Andy saw the long game. Let's keep hold of this boy. He's developing, and I think it's definitely the right decision. What a player Sam is. So really pleased, and like I say, all I want is some of the youth teams to believe that they can make it, and there is a pathway for them, because there certainly is.
At the other end of the experience spectrum, as you said, Bradley Dack, player that's been in the Championship, come back to Gills, nominated for League 2 Player of the Month as well. How pleased you've been with his performances?
I think me and Bradley will both look at each other and think, I think he's playing more than he thought he would. He's probably playing more than I thought he would, but when you're putting in performances like you are, and staying fit and becoming stronger and enjoying it and motivating others around you, you know, you can't not put Bradley in at the moment. He's a phenomenal talent, and he does things in training which are way above this level. And you know, I never played with him or against him when he was in his prime, but you know, heaven only knows what he was capable of then, because yeah, teams like Premier League, you know, rumoured to be Tottenham and West Ham, people like that, trying to put 10s and 12 millions for him. He's a good player, Bradley. But not just that. When I came in, I said good people, and I think Bradley has changed as a person, realising what he is now, what he can contribute, and he's taken on this leadership, mentorship role as well, which I think he's comfortable with. Instead of fighting against the player he was, accepting what it is now and seeing the next thing. And I think that's a real mature Bradley Dack we've got, and some vital goals. And you know, congrats Bradley. I hope he wins Player of the Month.
And finally, obviously, Christmas party happening for you guys today. Christmas lunch. Family, I know, means a huge amount to you.
Yeah.
But what's that like for, you know, a family man at Christmas? It's part of the job, isn't it, to be at work?
Yeah. Listen, I'll stop you there, and you don't use the word party, because it's definitely not a party. There's some Christmas carols on, and we're having a Christmas dinner, but it's business as usual. The boys will be definitely focused. But it's something that we do every year to get it in, because we can't do it over Christmas. And to answer your question, I do feel for the families, but I think football families get used to it. But not just us, you know. You got the armed forces, the police, the doctors, the nurses, all the people across the board who have to come in and work at Christmas, and we, you know, and the Gills staff as well. So it's not just us. So I'm not just saying it's just us, and hopefully everyone has a great Christmas this year. But we definitely want to, you know, build up to the Christmas period with a couple of wins, and we're going for both Barrow and Fleetwood, and hopefully we can get 6 points.
Thank you very much.
Cheers.
How much do you think you're going to learn from your squad on Saturday, because of the adaptability you're going to have to show because Barrow got you manager?
Yeah, we're going to have to be ready for being adaptable. You know, I've said to them, we may have to change during game of what comes, because if we're not working, then we might have to change to match what they've come with, you know, because I'm sure Neil McDonald will have seen what he wants to impose, you know, and he'll have to have a think over the next 2 days. Neil's been a great assistant manager for some top teams, you know, and he'll have learned plenty from that. He knows how to win a football game without a shadow of a doubt, you know. So we have to be adaptable, as well as imposing what we want to do to them. Sometimes, you know, is it boxers that say the best laid plans until you get punched in the nose, and that, we have to have that mentality sometimes. We have to go, right, this is what we're planning to do, but if we do get punched in the nose, we may have to change. And the boys have got to be ready for that. But I think me and Dobbo down the line are very good at adapting the team to make it stronger during games, and we may have to do that.
League Two's so ridiculously tight though, isn't it? Because if you win Saturday, you could be 5th. If you lose, you could be 15th. Have you ever known it that time?
Yeah, it is a crazy game, you know, and I think a lot of the leagues are tight, but you'll see that when you come out of that January period, you know, January the 4th, January the 10th, those 2 games, I think the table starts stretching a little bit then. It looks close now, but with 6 games in such a short period, you know, this is the time now where you want to keep with that top pack, you want to keep amongst it. We're hoping to. Like I say, the plan is to be a better team than we were when I came in, and that would be staying with the pack. But also, like I say, expectation, we're building something over a couple of years. I fully intend to be with the pack, I fully intend to win these games. But I think we're growing as a club, and I'm proud of where we are right now as a club. But as a football manager, I want to win games, of course.
I've got to be careful the way I word this next one. Did you get any feedback from the players who were sitting on the stand, players supporters on Saturday, about how things are going?
Feedback from the fans, from the players who sat with the fans?
From the players, from the fans who were sat with the fans?
No, nothing. And do you know what? I'm quite good at like letting things just go and letting things live and evolve and naturally go. If there's ever a problem, I expect someone to come and see me, and both fans and players, you know. But I thought it was a nice moment, and we restricted Colchester to 0 shots on target. You know, I think that's a fantastic achievement. You know, and the way we pushed in that second half to try and get something out. You know, again, now we've had a great second half. We almost nicked it, but no, the performance was good enough, I think, to make sure. If it had been Shrewsbury away, I think after half time they would have been asking to get them stripped and go on the pitch, I think. But no, it was great to see them and see about 10 players behind the dugout at Colchester just supporting the boys, not in the squad, not with the team injured, but supporting the boys. That's great for me away from home, and hopefully it continues.
Saturday, of course, is your first game back in the Priestfield dugout.
Yes, yeah.
Early Christmas present?
I don't know. It's been a long time actually since at Priestfield. Yeah, so I was in the stand, wasn't I, for Barnet, and yeah, we've had 2 away games since there. So it does feel like I have been back in the dugout, but it's been 3 weeks, you know. So yeah, hopefully it's an early Christmas present for me. But if I can transfer that onto all the fans, that would be even better, you know. It'd be great to start just sort of getting into the Christmas period now. It'd be great to start it with a win, but like I say, there's no way in a million years I'm going to disrespect Barrow. They're coming down to play well. They're all league footballers. We've got a job on our hands, but I believe in my boys and I believe we can win the game. Cheers.